Welcome into the Josh Sadler Show. Whenever you might be listening into this at your leisure, that's what's so nice about it. We put it up on Facebook on Friday morning. You can listen to it anytime before game time. Of course, Josh doesn't have a game tonight, but we can talk about last week's game and, of course, the big win that they had here at Leo Buckley Stadium. And, boy, I tell you, it looked really good against Cleburne. The Yellow Jackets, we hadn't played them regularly in a few years, of course. This past since realignment, put them on in the district again. Mm-hmm. District play starting off on the right foot,
right,
and you get the win too.
Yep. Thought our kids did a good job. They came out and played well, played hard, had a great first half. Came out and I think it was 27-6 at half. Put together a good game plan, executed game plan. I mean, they came out and we're in a different defensive structure than we expected. Our kids did a great job adjusting. We were able to put points on the board. We actually had a defensive score with a block punt and a return for a touchdown. So altogether, it was a really good first half of football. Second half, we held Roderick out in the second half for precautionary reasons and making sure that we can stay healthy for this long push because we're about to have 7 football games in a row without a break. So, just making sure that we take care of our kids and we keep them healthy, for the long stretch is the most important piece. But, second half was a little bit slower, but our kids still executed at a pretty good clip. We moved some people around, put them in positions that they're not used to regularly playing. Timothy Boatler came in and played quarterback most of the second half. He's a wide receiver, but he's an athlete. And he's a smart, gifted child that can come in any situation and help the team. And that was the part that I was the most proud of, was watching our kids in the second half overcome some of it. It's seeing, okay, well, we're going to hold out Rod. How do we handle that situation if something were to happen? And so I was pleased with how our kids handled that. Cleveland's a good football team, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to surprise some people throughout the year. They're getting better every week. I saw it on film, even though the scores didn't match up. We talked about this last week. They play hard. They play fast. They got after our tails. I knew they would. Very physical football team. I was very, excited for the win because of that. And I told their coach after the game, I said, he's got things going in the right direction. He was, of course, he was a little bit bummed. They're 0-3, but they're doing things the right way, and they're building that program the right way, and they're doing a good job over in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was there for that conversation when he came over to talk to you, and I was really, really impressed with that coach that they have, and for him to come over and say what he did to you.
Yeah, Coach Woodard does a great job, and he's a very genuine person. We talked about the coaches that we have here in our area the other day when we did our coaches show, but we have great coaches throughout the state.
Yeah,
it's an awesome thing to have this brotherhood that we have as coaches, that we can call on one another and depend on one another in what we do, because what we do is a tough job. We're trying to help boys grow into men, and that's a very tough thing to do. And him to come over and check on our kids, make sure that everybody that got injured was okay. Come over and just talk about the programs and how they're progressing. Giving us hey, great job. You got this program going in the right direction, and me able to do that for him as well. That's that support system that we have to have for one another, because it does get tough. We take a lot of criticism sometimes, especially when things aren't going the way we want them to. And you have to have somebody there to help you and reassure that what you're doing is right. And he's got it going in the right direction at Cleveland.
Yep. And, of course, you've got the week off this week, so it gives you time to prepare for things. Before we do that, anybody you want to highlight from last week's game? I know Carday Hicks, he had a great game.
Yeah, he had 25 carries for 168 yards and 2 touches. He had 1 on the ground and 1 in the air on a screen pass. Did a great job for us. They like I said, they confused us a little bit up front because of some things that they did differently we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So it took us a little while to kind of catch on to what they were doing and why they were doing it. So him being able to adjust and find some of those holes where they weren't as big as we thought they'd be because of what we prepared for. So he did a great job throughout the game of moving the chains and doing the things that he needed to make sure that we were in the places that we needed to be. Because of what they did in their secondary, we didn't throw the ball down the field as much. We only had 94 yards passing. Boatner having 4 receptions for 68 on that. He really had a great night. 68 yards in the air, and he ended up running for 67 yards himself at quarterback. when we did some quarterback sweep stuff. But he just did a great job overall. Very proud of Jay Sean Payton on the defensive side. I think he tallied 13 tackles, 12 of those were solo tackles. I mean, that's coming off the roof. That's coming from the safety position. So I'm tickled to death about that. I mean,
my gosh,
watching that aggressive bone coming from that level, the third level, so to speak, and him being that aggressive and going and getting those tackles. I mean, that's very big for us in our defense, and we just got to keep building on that. And lastly, I talk about them all the time. I'm going to continue to talk about it. Anytime you rush for 330 yards,
right,
there's a reason for it. Anytime you hold an opposing team to 121 yards rushing, there's a reason for it. And it's those guys up front. You're spotlighting those 5 guys up front. DeAndre Walker, Jonah Talili, and I got to get through all of them. But Torrey Gaden, and then on the right side we have Mercy. It's slipping my mind right now. But, those 5 guys did a great job. And it's going to come to me. I'm going to make sure I get them all in there.
Yeah.
But watching those 5 guys move people up front is exactly what I'm looking for on a daily basis. I mean, they did a great job. Defensive front with Sammy Hernandez, Kelton Adair, those guys did a great job of making sure we got pressure up front.
King Sam?
King Sam. He was the king of the night and did a great job.
Did you see our picture we got together?
I did. I did get to see that.
Sam's been a friend for a few years now. He
and
played with my brother junior high.
Well, and Sammy's such a great kid, and to watch him with everything that he did was absolutely amazing. And here's the thing about it. I mean, watching these kids grow.
Yeah.
And watching them become men and watching them get to see all the accolades that they get to do.
And their moods.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and the 2 that I'm missing up front, and I apologize to everybody, it's Marco Potter and Max Wadaki.
And he actually did not look at the roster. He brought it up, but after he brought it up, it came to him.
It's we get to talking about this stuff. My mind goes a little bit crazy sometimes. But DeAndre, Jonah, Torrey, Max, and Marco, those 5 guys up front, anytime you have 330 yards rushing, it's absolutely amazing to watch those 5 guys in unison work together. Jason Martinez at the fullback position had a little bit to do with that because of the blocking that he had to do in our H sets. So, I mean, I'm very proud of those kids and what they've accomplished and how they're moving forward with everything that they've got going. But up front, we did a great job. I was very proud of both sides. And making sure that we could move the football, making sure that we could stuff it as well.
Yeah, you did a great job. It was impressive, very impressive. And I wish there was more people. There was a whole big crowd there, but in the press box, I wish there would have been a few more people up there. But,
we're working on that. The buzz is starting to catch. Starting out 3-0, people are starting to catch on a little bit. I mean, I've already got
roof fever going around.
Yeah, I got some people, already talking about 4-0. And my deal is I'm not worried about 4 yet. That's next week. Next Friday night when we try to, go and get Granbury, it's about today, and it's about making sure that we win today. We got to make sure that we make ourselves better every single day. So in practice, we got to make sure we make ourselves better every single day.
So it's just like a game week every week.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter whether it's a bye week or whether it's a game week. We've got to make sure that we go to practice and take care of our business and do everything the way it's supposed to be.
That's what it's all about. You got to keep it rolling, baby. I mean, 1-0 in district play, want to be 2-0 here in a couple of weeks, but it's nice to have the would you rather have the bye week later on in the year, or is it okay where it's at?
Well, given the circumstances that we're in right now, I'm glad it's happening right now.
Right.
Most coaches, and I probably would have at the beginning of the season say I want it somewhere in the middle.
Right.
But it's okay where it is. You'd like to have a break after you've kind of played that meat of your schedule, but you don't get to choose that. So it is what it is, and we'll just take it as it is, and we'll roll on down the road. Like I say, 7 games after we get off the bye, right in a row, and it's the heart of our schedule. And we got the 2 clean schools in that stretch too, and it's going to be a fun stretch. Some of the scores have come out already. The Lake Belton score last week with Red Oak. And then Shoemaker, Midlothian, just watching some of those scores and seeing some of the highlights of those games. Our district's going to shape out to be a very, very good one this year. And I just hope we can take care of our business and put ourselves in a situation where we can be in the mix towards the end of the season.
All right. Well, you have a good time watching football this weekend. I know you're gonna be watching Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So.
Well, we did. We watched. Of course, Friday night we had our game, and Saturday watched a lot of football. Sunday watched a lot of football. Trying to get the boys adequated to watching that football with me on TV when we're at home. You know, they like football. Matter of fact, one of my oldest son's first words was football. So, the little one is yet to start putting that together, but he's trying to.
So Gunner going to go out on the road with you scouting on Friday night?
I would like to take him. It's just it gets so late, and if we're all the way up in the DFW watching, the next team, the next opponent, then it may be a long night for him.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make that decision. That may be a game time decision.
Loved it when he came out and was with you on the interview. That was great. He is a great guy.
Oh, he's a great kid, and I mean he's full of just fun, and he runs around. He's having a great time. He doesn't understand any of the pressures that we're going through trying to win football games. So that's what makes it nice. Win or lose, he's going to come up and tell me he loves me. He's going to come and give me a kiss on the cheek, and that's what makes it, a fun time no matter what.
Yeah, and your wife's an angel putting up with you
and
everything like that. Well, it's always good to see her.
We've talked about that, and she is a wonderful, wonderful lady. I outkick my coverage, so to speak. I've been so blessed with her in my life and these two boys. So it's a godsend, and every day I try to thank God every day for that for my family, because without her, I couldn't do any of this. None of it. The coaching, the head coaching piece, the campus coordinator, all that stuff is I'm able to do some of the things I'm able to do because of her. And if she weren't around, I couldn't do those things. She makes this engine go, and she's the support system that I need. She's the one at home that every now and then, if I start getting my feelings a little bit, she's the one that kicks me in the butt and says, "Hey, you need to get after it a little bit harder. You're better than that." So I love that about her, and I'm just so thankful that she's there for me.
All right, 3-0. We're going to talk to you next week about going 4-0, baby.
Absolutely. Well, one day at a time. One day at a time. We got to get through some practices first, and then when we get to that Friday night against those guys up north again, Granbury, the Pirates, we'll take that one day at a time and see what happens then.
All right. We enjoy the weather in the weekend, okay?
All righty. Sounds good. Go Roos.
You are watching I-14 Sports Network.